Velma is the brain project of Mindy Kaling, which a lot of people still know mostly from The Office. She had the Mindy Project, other stuff. She's done a lot of stuff. She's in producing, all this kind of stuff. I really like Mindy Kaling. But she is the voice of Velma. We have like Glenn Howerton from It's Always Sunny, who's Fred. Sam Richardson from another movie we're gonna revisit, Senior Year, and I believe also Community. Was that where he started?
I think so.
And he was in Hocus Pocus too. But he's the voice of Shaggy. Constance Wu is the voice of Daphne, and I have no idea if he surfaces in episodes 3 or 4 or beyond. But if Scooby-Doo is in this thing, I haven't seen him yet. There's no Scooby, no Scooby-Dooby, none of that. Anyway, so they got some decent voice talent to do some stuff. There's a top supporting voice talent in Wanda Sykes and Jane Lynch, among others. It's got a decent pedigree for the people who put it together. It just doesn't make sense that they made this. You know what I mean? Like, while they were making it, did they think they had a hit on their hands? You know what I mean? Like, did they think this is great? People are gonna love this. We're gonna piss off some people, but screw them. The other people are gonna love it. And I'm like, no.
What's so weird to me about this is there's a few things. I saw a lot of stuff about like Mindy Kaling always kind of playing like a self-hating woman. And I think maybe that doesn't translate. What is written in this is terrible, but I think also making that humor translate to a cartoon, I think is a completely different challenge. That, I think, is almost like the opposite of what we talked about with Marcel Deschelles, where like moments of that, it was great that a human being wasn't there. I think some of this loses that. But the roster of voices feels like, from what I've seen of their work, like they would completely get, like, if you watch It's Always Sunny and stuff, like it feels like they would very much get delivering the type of humor that they were going for, but just an absolute swing and a miss from what they were going for. This is annoyingly self-referential, but in episode 1 they say something to the effect of like, a good show needs a good story and a hook or something like that, and I'm like, that is the opposite of what you guys did in the show. I don't know if that was supposed to be like satirical in any way, but like what I found frustrating about it was not the edge they added to it. I think that's fun. What frustrated me about it is that when they changed people's identity, either for race or like sexuality or whatever, they just erased every character trait, it felt like, of everybody you knew. And it feels like so little of this is about them actually solving a murder mystery, which is supposed to be the fun part. Like, live action Scooby-Doo 2 should not be clearing this head and shoulders. You know what I mean? Like, right. That's not.
There's if you got HBO Max, please hurry up before they pull all of this off the surface too. But everything Scooby-Doo wise is on there. You can find all the stuff going back to the original series. I believe they even have a pup named Scooby-Doo, which was a little after my time, but my younger brother loved it on Saturday mornings. And then all the more recent reboots, films and television, they're all there, and they're all way better than this.
Yeah,
and like way better than this. They were able to put in some references for the adults watching that would, like, would make the adults laugh while not abandoning the fact that it's basically for kids. This is super not for kids, but the references are either super meta or just not funny, or there's way too many of them. You can't do like 6 meta references in 4 lines of dialogue. It requires your brain to like make the connection, and you're missing stuff. Like it's just it's so first of all, it's Velma's story. She's entirely central. She's South Asian, which is fine. There's no problem with that.
It felt like the writers have a problem with everybody that they were.
Here's what it is. It feels like they know a certain segment of the population is going to have a problem with that, right? They know, oh, you changed the race. The people who were up in arms because the new Little Mermaid is black, and now we got to burn the whole thing down. Those people are gonna be really angry that you changed the race of Velma. And I'm like, okay, great, but here's the deal: those people aren't watching your show. So the idea that you have to every now and then poke them, like you're no, like the people who I'm assuming you're making the show for are fine with it, and they're cool with it, and they may even be like super positive about it. So you insisting on ignoring them to like poke fun at a different group who's not even in on the conversation right now because they checked out forever ago when you dropped a clip where Velma's a lesbian. So there's no need to base your entire humor on, hey, you over there who's not even watching. Like, I don't know why you're doing that, because you're just taking it away from everything else.
It's not an occasional poke. It feels like that's what the whole show is. Like, I don't mind a jab every now and then. I find that hilarious. And nobody who holds that belief based on the trailer dropping is also in for a conversation. They decided, they made up their mind before they were even going to watch it, and they're not watching it. Yeah, it feels like if the idea is that you're supposed to have representation, you're not representing anything except for the stereotypes. And even if that wasn't the intention, that's what you made the show about. So that's 100% on, is that like they made this about pissing off that segment of people, and in doing that the way that I mean, I'm a white woman who's straight. This isn't like for me to say probably, but it reads as the representation of that is then like so anti that you're not actually representing anybody in a cool way. They made Velma like cheating off someone's math homework. You know what I mean? Like, she's not smart in this. Her origin story was so cool of like, they had her, she'd always been interested in mysteries, was the whole story. And she was really upset because she solved kind of the mystery of Santa Claus. She went looking for her Christmas gifts. And this was actually so good. I loved this. Like, she went looking for her Christmas gift. She was so upset that she ruined Christmas. She didn't want her parents to be upset. She wasn't going to get surprised anything was under the tree. And so her mom like went missing, and Thelma was going to then solve the crimes of like going to find her mom, essentially, as like that was like what cultivated her love for this. And they kind of turned it into this idea that like, oh, maybe her mom literally just pieced out because she was an insufferable kid. It's like, come on, that's such a cool, like, sincere origin story. It could lead to so much character development, but they like, no problem with the fact that she's a lesbian. I have a problem with the fact that she's in no way Velma.
RESPECT. Click the subscribe button and find out what it means to me. Nah, that doesn't have a ring to it. But if you like videos about real news stories that are funny, stupid, or weird, subscribe now.